Good morning, dear students. I, Harsh Enania, Assistant Professor from Government Law College, Ajmer. Welcome all the dear students and the viewers to today's lecture. So, today we shall be discussing in the subject of interpretation of statutes, legal language, and general English, and principles of legislation. The topic which we are going to study for today is a essay on legal issue. Okay, so let us discuss a very simple and very important topic which might be asked even in your examination. So today we'll be practicing an essay on the legal issue of a right to life and personal liberty. So, in the beginning, you have to mention the introduction. Okay. So, in the introduction, you can write about the origin. Okay, of this right and the source of this right. That is to say, from which country we have taken this. Okay, from which constitution we have been inspired and then incorporated this principle into our constitution as well. What is the legal position of it as of today? Whether a restrictive approach of interpretation has to be given or a wider connotation has to be drawn. So all those things will be mentioned. Okay, thereafter in the main body you will be mentioning the various plethora of judgments which have been imparted. Okay, those judgments must be either in a chronological order or in a logical sequence. Okay, so as to give a proper meaning. Okay, so you must try to write in points. Okay, basically if you put the bulletin points, it will be really good because it will be readable in terms of whenever the examiner is checking the copies. Okay, so you must do the same and accordingly the reasons behind the judgments must also be mentioned. Okay, and finally while concluding you can give your own suggestions, the reasons behind the judgments and your suggestions. Okay, so what is the present day position and what will be the future position can be mentioned by you people. Okay, and finally let us start now. I think so in the beginning you must mention that the right to life and personal liberty is mentioned under article 21 of Indian Constitution. Yes, uh, and it reads as no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except by procedure established by law. Okay, so after writing this, after mentioning the article, now you need to explain what is the meaning of it. Okay, and what kind of interpretations are possible, and whether any construction liberal construction has to be done or strict construction has to be done. So accordingly you must put your own inputs as you persevered. You must mention accordingly. Okay, so first of all in this regard you must mention that that the right to life, whether it includes right to die or not. Okay, so you can discuss the concept of euthanasia. Okay, so it's upon you totally. First either you can mention about right to life and cite the judgments, or you can go for the right to die. Okay, so those series of judgments. Okay, starting from the Gyan Kaur versus State of Punjab, etc., etc., and till Aruna Shambong judgment can be mentioned by you people. Okay, or if on the alternatively, if you decide to start with right to life, Then you can mention about the various important judgments in this regard. Okay. And about the wider interpretation where the Supreme Court has been assigning to it time and again over the period can be mentioned again. Okay. uh, that is to say, whether right to life means merely living or a dignified life, or merely a animal existence. So you have to distinguish it. You can mention the various judgments, okay, in this regard, that the minimum requirements need to fulfilled, and a person must live a dignified and proper life. Okay. Uh, you can also mention that the right to privacy is also included in it. The various judgments can be cited. Okay, but beforehand, in right to life, you can mention the judgments like Chameli Singh versus State of UP. Right to life includes the minimum requirements to be fulfilled, such as right to food, shelter, and clothing. Okay. Then you can mention that free and potable water is also a very important requirement, so as to live properly, because until unless you get pure drinking water, you cannot live a healthy life. So Kameshwar Singh versus State of Bihar will automatically come. Then all those cases of MC Mehta can be mentioned. Okay, whether it is the Taj Mahal case, or whether it is oleum gas leakage case, or the Bhopal gas disaster matter. Okay, that is Union Carbide Corporation versus Union of India. That can also be mentioned. So you can discuss all these important judgments relating to the environmental right. Okay, your environmental rights also have found their presence by the right to life and personal liberty. Okay. So these are the various important topics to be discussed. Okay. Then you can discuss the judgment of Menka Gandhi versus Union of India, in which the Supreme Court discussed whether uh, the right to life or personal liberty can be snatched away uh, by just creating any procedural law, or whether that law has to pass the rules of natural justice. That that law must be reasonable law. So, by virtue of this, it was also discussed that while the while creating our constitution was based on UK's constitution in this regard. Okay, that is to say, Article 21 was inspired from Britain's constitution. Okay, and we were not having the exact terminology as inculcated in America's constitution. Okay, so that is why these reasons were also mentioned while the arguments, but the court held that every law which is laid down must pass the test of reasonability. Okay, so rules of natural justice will surely apply to the procedural law. Therefore, such procedural law which intends to take away your personal liberty, your right to life, then it must surely pass from the test of rules of natural justice. So that law which snatches your right to life or personal liberty must be a reasonable law, must be a just law. Okay. Thereafter, only and only if the test is passed, then your rights can be snatched away by those procedural laws. Okay. So after the judgment of Menka Gandhi versus Union of India, the position of right to life and personal liberty is just same or just similar to that of America's right to life and personal liberty. So you can also start with A.K. Gopalan versus Union of India. In this case, you can mention how Supreme Court interpreted the word personal liberty used in Article 21, as we are discussing uh, the essay on right to life and personal liberty. So the word personal liberty was interpreted by the Supreme Court of India, and it by providing the analogy that since the word liberty is qualified by the word personal, so that is why it is having a narrow scope. Okay, so narrow scope of interpretation is there. It is narrower than Article 19. Okay, so here strict interpretation will apply. Therefore, they had assigned the word personal liberty a very narrow interpretation. On the other hand, in the case of Menka Gandhi, Justice P.N. Bhagwati himself observed that personal liberty or anything which is attached with your fundamental rights must be given widest possible amplitude. Okay, so that is why here a lot of drastic changes were visible after the Menka Gandhi case. Okay. Next is you can also mention about the Khadak Singh case. Okay. In this you can mention about the domiciliary visits by the police. What is that? Domiciliary visit is when the police visit the house of the suspect in night to ascertain whether the suspect is living in that home or whether he has fled away. So this is violative of your fundamental right to privacy. Okay, so Supreme Court in this case said that this particular domiciliary visit by the police and the regulation concerning the same does not have the force of law, and therefore it was struck down. Clear? In Menka Gandhi case, the Supreme Court held that despite the fact that we do not have the due process as envisaged in American Constitution, but what is required is whenever we are interpreting the word personal liberty, then it must be given widest possible amplitude, and the Supreme Court laid down a test, okay, in this regard, how that law must be, or how that procedural law must be, or how that law will be in picture, whether it will stand or not. So a test was laid down. What was that test? There must be a law. That law must provide a procedure, okay, and that procedure must pass the test of reasonableness. That is, it must be just, fair, and not arbitrary. Okay, and finally, what must be done is it must qualify the requirements as provided under Article 19 as well as under Article 21. Okay, so in Menka Gandhi, it was held that right to go abroad is also a fundamental right of yours. So was held in the case of Satwant Singh versus Assistant Passport Officer. Okay, then you can discuss about the People's Union for Democratic Rights versus Union of India, which is popularly known as the Asiad Workers case. In this, the workers which were working day and night so as to fulfill the requirements of Asiad Games, okay, were denied of the minimum wages. So it was held that such work which was done on the part of government and such denial to the workers of the minimum wages is violative of the fundamental right under Article 21 also. So therefore, minimum wages must be ensured. Okay. Next, you can also discuss Francis Coral Muril versus NCT of Delhi. In this case, it was held that Right to life is not just merely animal existence. It is quite more than that. That means that a human must live with dignity, as well as he must be given that shelter, adequate nutrition, he must be given adequate facilities for reading, cleanliness and sanitation, etc. etc. So this is another important landmark judgment which you require to refer while writing an essay. Next, try to mention about the other case laws as well, which includes the Oligar Tellis case, Oligar Tellis versus Bombay Municipal Corporation, which is popularly known as Pavement Dwellers case. In this case, the Supreme Court tried to explain the connection of right to life along with the right to livelihood. How right to livelihood is so close knitted with the right to life. If you want to deny the right to life to any person, then you just need to remove the right to livelihood. So if the person is not getting the right to livelihood, automatically that without livelihood he will not survive much. So that is why, and this right was upheld to be protected under Article 21 on the basis of the directive principles of state policy, which in which Article 39 Clause A as well as Article 14(1) was included, and on the basis of it, the court instructed the Bombay Municipal Corporation not to evacuate or not to remove these pavement dwellers until the monsoon season is over, and thereafter to create hawking and non-hawking zones, and such pavement dwellers must be allowed to sell their products in hawking zones, and their licenses must not be refused without assigning a proper reasons. Then comes the interesting case of Sudan Singh versus New Delhi Municipal Corporation. In this case, again, people tried to claim that right to trade and any business occupation is also included under Article 21. So again, the pavement dwellers, that is to say, the people on the near the roadside who were selling their items, claimed that it is a fundamental right of theirs under right to livelihood, and which is ensured under Article 21 as well, that is right to life and personal liberty. But the Supreme Court here very interestingly took a complete U-turn and said that here the Oligar Tellis case is not applicable, therefore the right to livelihood here is not covered under Article 21, that is to say, right to life and personal liberty does not include right to livelihood. Okay. Then you can mention about DK Yadav versus JMA Industries case, in which again the right to livelihood was discussed. Okay, so the Supreme Court in a gist, if I would explain, Supreme Court in a gist told that if you are terminating any employee, then proper reasons must be assigned, as well as the employee to be terminated must be given a proper, reasonable and fair opportunity to present his matter as well, because until unless it is done, the person will be deprived of his right to livelihood, so which will directly be violative of right to life and personal liberty under Article 21. Next comes the case of Surjit Singh Thind, okay, versus Kavaljit Kaur. In this case, the Supreme Court laid down that the virginity test of the female, in order to test the whether the husband is a potent or important person, is violative of right to privacy of the female. That is why such test cannot be allowed. Likewise, you can mention a plethora of cases which are available at your dismissal, because the Supreme Court has over the time widened the scope of Article 21 mentioning that right to life and personal liberty is the utmost thing, and the and everything which is connected with your life is correlated in some way. So therefore whatever is violative of your fundamental rights will always be violative of Article 21, that is right to life and personal liberty. And on the basis of it, various prison reforms were issued by the Supreme Court time and again. Various environmental rights of the people. For example, Murli S. Devra versus Union of India, which puts a ban on smoking at public places, was also the Supreme Court's judgment. So, manifold, a widest possible interpretation by the Supreme Court of Article 21 is done. So, conclusively, you can provide your own reasons for the same and suggestions, if any, to improve and safeguard your right to life and personal liberty. So, thank you, dear students and viewers, for listening so carefully, and have a great day.